welcome to the podcast. Today's guest is Mike Smith from A Bite Out of Cancer. Mike, welcome aboard, mate.
Thank you for having me, mate. It's a pleasure. Finally.
Yes, yeah, we've had all sorts of trouble, which I think we've worked out is my crappy internet connection.
Well, let's hope it holds up, mate.
Yeah. So, right, if we go straight into it, give us a bit of background info about who you are, why you set it up, and where you're at now, if you could, please, mate.
Okay, yeah. So we started back in 2017 with A Bite Out of Cancer, but it came about before that, like purely wanting to do something with fishing, but something that I could possibly do myself, and getting people involved with. So I didn't have the qualifications to go to college and like do a course so I can go and teach kids, and I didn't drive as well, so I couldn't do that yet. But now doing this, A Bite Out of Cancer, it's definitely changed me for better, and hopefully help saved a few people's lives.
Yeah, no, brilliant. So, what actually is it? Talk us through what it is.
So we work directly alongside cancer research. We're a little tiny organisation at the moment, and we basically encourage the public to go out doing what they love best, and catch fish, and pretty much donate the weight of that fish to cancer research. So each fish they catch, say it'd be a £20 fish, you take £20 and turn it into £20 cash, and just simply do a donation online.
Brilliant.
So, we started our first donation in November 2017, and that was how much was that? That was £25.50 was my first ever donation to cancer research, and then my best mate as well, who I did it with, Paul. He donated £17 to it, so they were the first ever two donations to cancer research, and now, mate, we're sitting at £9,311.59, with well over 100 donations by the anglers going out catching a fish and sending us their catch.
Brilliant, that's awesome, mate. How did it all come about originally?
So yeah, my dad used to take me fishing when I was a kid, and like I was like, I say I suffered like a little bit with like ADHD. Like I was constantly like wanted to be like center of attention and wanting to be noticed, like, and just a little shit really, getting in trouble, But when I started fishing, that came about with obviously both of my aunties in the same Christmas buying me a seat box and one of them Woolworths fishing rods, with the little like pink and yellow, orange like type fly thing in it, and like catching my first fish on the river down there. But going forward a few years, my old man used to always take me to fishing matches, and unfortunately, back in 2014, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor after suffering years of like headaches, like chronic migraines and stuff. And he was always told it was like stay away from cheese and don't drink coffee, but he loved coffee, so he always drank coffee, So back in 2014, he was diagnosed with brain tumor, and he was told he'd have like 6 months, but he surpassed that and went 18 months without like with still being here, bless him, But that was all down to like what had happened. I went up to see my dad up at Kilcuddy in Scotland, and he had his missus had slipped and broke a hip. So I went up to look after him because he couldn't look after himself, and he had two dogs to look after as well up at Caravan Park up in Kirkcaldy in Scotland. And I went to look after him, and unfortunately, while I was looking after him and shuttling him backwards and forwards in a taxi to the hospital to see his wife, who's in bed with a broken hip, um, he unfortunately had a stroke. And I thought he was at first he lost his balance, and I thought that was due to him not taking his tablets because there was no signs of a stroke. You know, it's just he just lost his balance. So he sat
Mm.
down and then got back up and got in his electric chair, and we got to the taxi, and we got him in the taxi. And just before we got him in the taxi, he lost his balance again. And I was thinking, good job we're going to the bloody hospital. You know, we get you checked out there. And then unfortunately, in the taxi, he had a stroke in the taxi on the way to the hospital, and that put him in the bed. And this, I believe, as soon as this stroke hit, the tumor grew back at such a rate in his brain, it just knocked him out by like December. It just killed him, and December the 30th,
Right.
2015.
God.
So,
Wow.
but yeah, that's my
So
dad
that.
is the reason why I started a bite out of cancer, because I wanted to give something back. To the people that are suffering with cancer, you know, and I don't want them to go through what I've been through. And
Mm-hmm.
with a passion that I love, with against a passion that I hate, you know, two and two together,
Mm.
and do it for the good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, I came to your event in October, wasn't it, last year? Was it October?
Yes, mate. Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
was. Yeah,
in Doncaster. We had
October.
a real good turnout, didn't we?
Yeah, according to Jules Cundiff, like for our first event that time of year, the amount of people that turned up for that, he said he was amazed by it. He couldn't believe it because of everyone wanting to be at the bank, because it's pretty much their last catch time of the year, you know,
mm,
before the fish go into hibernation. So he was well amazed. But that was,
yeah,
yeah, that
that's
was a good
good.
event, really was.
So, obviously, how has this lockdown period affected things with a buyout of cancer? Obviously, I suppose donations have dried up.
Yeah, it has, mate. And my target, our target for a buyout cancer was hitting 10 grand, and we got, obviously, unfortunately, COVID-19 came into play, and everyone had to stop playing at the ponds and come home. You know, so the busiest time for a bite out of cancer, April. You know, when
Mm-hmm.
everyone hits the banks and catches them fish. You know, it unfortunately didn't happen this year. So we've obviously missed a target by 600 quid, 600, £700.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think if we didn't have this, I think we would have smashed it, like, definitely, because we had a charity event coming up as well, in April, which was our
Mm.
first fishing match as well, for cancer research, and that would have just skyrocketed it. That would have been over 10 grand, like, easy.
Yeah, yes. It's been a strange time, hasn't it, for everyone? Um,
Yeah.
so, I mean, how are you keeping busy at the minute?
Um, yeah, my missus has got me painting the house. So I'm, yeah, start just going through one room to another, like, really, mate. Just cracking on, getting it done.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
exactly. It
yeah,
makes
if I
sense to do
weren't,
it now, doesn't it? When you can't be at the
I've
lake.
got, of course, mate. You know, I'm just holding out that everyone stays inside, and I don't know if I'm an optimist or just relying on hope to just get us out on that bank before the end of April. You know, if everyone
Mm.
stays inside, then we can get out and do what we love doing best on.
Mm. Yeah, no, definitely, mate. So, also, obviously, you've got an event. Is it in October again? The similar one,
No, we've got November this time. We've obviously moved
November.
it from October, but we've got, yeah, our second ever big talk in November. Hopefully, you'll be coming up again. Hopefully,
Yeah,
uh, but yeah, we've got this time. So we've got, hopefully, the absolute legend Ian Chilcott. who is,
Mm-hmm.
as we know at the moment, he's suffering really, really bad at the moment with cancer itself, and we've just keeping our fingers crossed for him that he's going to be well enough, and if if he can still do it, you know,
Mm.
if he if he can't do it, I'm not gonna find someone else to fill his place. I'm thinking about just having question time where the
Yeah.
audience can ask uh, us guys questions, and hopefully we can give them the right answers, you know. But I'm definitely not gonna fill in space just purely out of respect.
No. Absolutely,
Um,
mate.
we've got Alan Blair as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's still there.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we got Alan Blair coming up. He's gonna give us an hour of his time as well, which that I couldn't believe when we found out he was coming. That was amazing. He did a little event in Doncaster, and Kyle, who's part of a Bite Out of Cancer, he went down to the talk, and he just yeah, had a few quiet words with Alan, and he said he'd love to do it. So that was absolutely mind blowing to get someone like Alan uh, to to come and talk on our second ever charity event. You know, is absolutely amazing, and we just got to keep our fingers crossed that it goes ahead. If you know what I mean, Dom.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's the thing that's worrying so many people. It's the uncertainty, isn't it, and the not knowing of how long this is going to last, um, and everything else, isn't it? It's the just the not knowing. But like you say, you've just got to remain positive, haven't you? And just upbeat, get everything done that typically would be boring or you wouldn't want to do. Um, yeah, like you say, painting the house is a good one.
Yeah, that's it. I've got to.
So, and what about
Who else?
your own fishing, Mike? Where do you typically go?
So I stay in Cumbria. Obviously,
Right.
I don't drive, and just down the road from me, I've got uh, an absolute beautiful lake, mate. I've fished it. Well, I fished one half of it for the best part of 13 years, and then back in 2018, I managed to get uh, a chance to get on the Syndicate, which is the other side of the lake. It's one lake that's joined all together, but it's got like a fence going halfway down the middle of it to block the
Mm-hmm.
Match Lake off to the Syndicate Lake, and yeah, I've picked this lake apart, and it in all the years I've fished it, there's still fish in there that elude me today, and like people would say I'm a bloody expert on it, but it's yeah, it's a hard water. If you don't know how, it's the same as any lake really. You don't know how to fish it, you
Mm.
know, you're not gonna catch. You know, you've got to put your time in on this lake and to get your rewards. And
Yeah, yeah,
I'm trying to catch my first British 30, you know, and it is hard when you don't drive, like you know,
yeah,
but this lake, I believe we'll do it, but we've just got to wait and see. I mean,
yeah. It's
the, the way they're
Right.
putting on weight at the moment is absolutely unreal. You know, the syndicate's only been open 3 years, so putting these fish are putting on an average of £4 to £5 a year.
Right, that's decent. Yeah, because obviously, I
Which,
suppose
yeah,
because you're
mate.
sort of quite far up north as well, it's bit of typically a slower process, is it?
Yeah, I mean, people say I don't know what it's like now, like, but people say a Cumbrian 30 is the equivalent to a 50 down south. But now everywhere you go down south, there's pretty much a 50 in every lake now, really.
Yeah, there's
But
quite a divide, isn't there?
yeah, definitely. Just was a like I remember one of the other guys who we fished with, Lewis. He was is fishing one of the lakes down south, like the back end of February, and he was telling me about the water temperature, and I was like, "What? Your water temperature is like 10 degrees already?" Ours was just above freezing, you know.
Yeah.
So his is like 10, and up here it's like literally you get a frost at night, the outside of the lake would literally just freeze up,
Mm.
you know, and that was right the way up through February, near enough into March. You know, that would happen.
Yeah.
It's just
So
mad.
Yeah, what sort of how do you approach it? Because if you do you say you're reasonably new to the Syndicate Lake?
Well, yeah, I've put time into it, so every time I get off work, I've only got like two days that I can fish, which is a
Yeah,
Monday and a Tuesday. So I go down on a Monday morning, and I pretty much like bait up every Tuesday when I leave. I bait up, so next time I
yeah,
go back down the following week, then fish roughly know that on a Tuesday they're going to get a good feed. So yeah, I just keep topping my swim up well, as much as I possibly can, if you know what I mean.
yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, it makes sense. I
Like
think.
I approach it with
Um,
particle and ground bait. It's a really weedy lake.
yeah,
So when I attack this lake, I want little fish to move in on the spot to clear my spots out, ready for the bigger fish that are moving on top.
yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
You know, and it works.
Um, so, when do you think you'll be driving? Because I'd imagine you're going to be itching to try sort of other places and a bit further afield, aren't you, as well?
Well, unfortunately, on Tuesday, just gone.
Mm,
Uh, Tuesday, it's just passed. I was supposed to have my test, and yes, it got cancelled due to this virus. And unfortunately,
mm,
mate, we couldn't. I couldn't do it. So
mm.
as soon as we're allowed back out, mate, and the tests are up and running, I'll be definitely booking in a test and basically doing my test to get on the road and
Yeah.
getting down to like lakes like Linya or Bluebell, and
Mm-hmm.
trying something different because that will be. I mean, I've fished this lake up north for 15 years, so pretty much
Right.
any other lake outside of here is going to be absolutely amazing,
No,
and
that's a
there'd be
big
so
point, mate.
much I need to learn as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's the key, isn't it? Just get into as many different waters as you can, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
I've learned so much on this lake alone. Like when I fished it, it was it was completely different to like the syndicate side was completely different to the match side. Even though it was one
Mm-hmm.
water,
Mm-hmm.
it's completely different. Like the match lake at first didn't have any weed in it at all. It was just finding solid spots or fishing for the fish underneath snags or towards the lilies and stuff like that. But on this lake, it was probably my first time ever fishing in weed and getting to understand how the fish react in different situations,
Yeah.
and actually working for a bite, instead of just pub chucking or something like that. You'd really
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
put the effort in to get the reward.
Yeah. Nice. I think with weedy waters as well, once you get your head around them, they can be,
Oh,
um,
mate,
yeah, real sort of decent waters, can't they?
yeah, they are. There's something else, mate. Like it's it's that bit for me. Like you put 100% effort in, you get 100% reward. If you go to
Mm-hmm.
it half-assed, you
Mm-hmm.
you you're not going to get as much reward as what you could have got. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's similar to anything in life as well, that isn't it? Get out what you put
Yeah,
in.
oh, of course, mate. Absolutely, absolutely. But it it changed my fishing definitely for the better. And like before I even fished this side, I never used pop ups at all. So it's only been in the last 3 years I've used um, pop ups on multi rigs,
Yeah.
and I found out that rig is absolutely bloody deadly,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and it is the way that hook hold nails them in the bottom lip is absolutely unreal. I think
Yeah.
once or
Listen,
twice I've lost fish
simple
on that.
rig as well, isn't it? As well to tie.
Oh, yeah. If you got it set up right, it's absolutely deadly. But if you've got it set up wrong, or sitting wrong, then it's not going to work as effective as what it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, we mentioned a bit about the event in November. Do you want to give us some more details about that? Like, obviously, we know it's a bit up in the air, but if it goes ahead, when is it
Yeah,
in
well,
November, mate?
hopefully it's the 7th of November, which
Hmm.
is a Saturday. It was
Hmm.
going to be just an evening event, but now we've managed to get it all day. So we'll probably open the doors at lunchtime, and then obviously the guys who are doing the talks can then let us know what time they're doing their talks, because we're still quite a bit away from it, but I think that will come around sooner rather than later. And then we can either have an hour's talk, or an hour and a half talk, or 2 hours talk, or whatever they want to do really,
Mm.
and the public can come and go. But we've got, as I said, we've got Alan Blair, Ian Chilcott, and we did have um, Russ versus Woozy. Uh,
Hmm.
they do a charity work for multiple sclerosis, and they said they're quite happy to get involved. But unfortunately, um, Mark's unable to take part in this now. So um, Russ has just announced today that he is now working with Frank Warwick.
Right.
So it's Russ versus Frank, and they're going to be doing their work next year to help multiple sclerosis. But this year, they're going to try and get on the bank and do as much as they possibly can for a bite out of cancer. So that's massive news as well. And yeah,
Oh,
I'm buzzing
brilliant.
to see what them two can do for us. Really, that's going to be
Yeah.
really nice to see as well.
Yeah.
So we
Frank's
got
a
them.
funny guy, isn't he?
Well, yeah, apparently so, mate. Apparently so. So it's going to be really nice to probably even meet him if he decides to come up to the talk as well, mate. We'd definitely get to meet him and have a laugh as well. So
Hmm.
that'd be nice.
Nice.
We've
Cool.
got who else we've got coming up? So we've got uh, beneath the British waters. I don't know if you've seen them online.
What? Who?
So
Sorry.
beneath the British waters, it's called.
No, I haven't. No.
So they basically film the way fish react underwater when obviously we're not there, and we get a better insight about how these fish are doing. He does river fishing. Well, he does river fish, lake
Hmm.
fish, um, and like little ponds and stuff like that. And you really get to see how these fish act underwater without the stress of the public getting involved in it. Really, so
Hmm.
that'd be interesting to listen to. And
Very
who else
nice.
we got coming? We got obviously cancer research. They'll be coming up to do a talk about where they're at as well at the moment, and what more we can do to help them. And then of course Brian Scoils is gonna do a little rig clinic for us as well, I believe.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, pretty much a cram packed day, and we've got auctions as well that are going to be up and running before the big talk. So that's something to keep an eye out, and it's definitely these auctions are not to be missed, mate. They're ones by ones. Oh, I don't know if I should tell you or not, but yeah, go well. Definitely one by Ridge Monkey,
Hmm.
okay, which is the same as what we did last year, but obviously we'll be doing it online this time,
Yeah.
so it will include a lot more people than just the people at the big talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if people do want to get involved with the big talk and can't make it, they can get involved in the auction online, and
Hmm.
yeah, so that's going to be absolute massive. And there is another one, but I'm going to keep that quiet at the moment.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, definitely that's going to be one to look forward to. So as you know, we did the Ridge Monkey one last year. We got another Ridge Monkey one this year. Uh, but as I say, there is another special one coming up as well. Um,
Cool. Sounds
and
good,
then we
mate.
have our
So,
massive.
go on.
Go on, sorry.
No, go on. You carry on, but I thought you were finished. Carry on, mate.
Sorry. We have our massive raffle as well that we do as well, Don. That was huge last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, really good. Um,
We,
I was just going to say, obviously, if people want to come, then they definitely should go because it's a decent lineup. How do they go about it?
So yeah, what we're gonna do, this time we're gonna do tickets online, so people can buy tickets online instead of just buying them at the door, but they can pay on the night as well if they're not 100% certain they can make it. But we just got to see how it goes, really. I mean, if COVID drops off sooner rather than later, then we will do tickets. But if not, I think it would just be a tenner on the door, just like last time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. That sounds
Yeah,
good, mate. And obviously,
hopefully we'll have
have you got a
food there as
website or
well.
anything?
Not yet, but we do have all the information up on the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bite Out of Cancer, the Big Talk, and they
Right.
can find us there, or just search for us, Bite Out of Cancer, and yeah, anyone can get involved with what we're doing. It's
Cool.
definitely
Okay.
not an issue.
Sounds good, mate. What I want to do as well is just quickly ask you the question from the last guest. We did, like I
Okay.
mentioned it already, a rotary letter style question, and your question was from John Lamb, and it's sort of a music related one. It's if you were to go fishing, like on a nice sort of quiet syndicate on your own, which one album would you take with you to listen to?
Um, oh, yeah, I'd probably have to take um, Green Day, American Idiot. Um,
Nice, yeah.
just yeah, it's a good album. Like it's not just it tells a story, that album, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just one continuous song. If you're not listening to it track after track after track or in a shuffle, it would just play all the way through, like, continuously, and it's a good album.
Nice. Okay. And following on from that, have you got a question that we can ask our next guest?
Yeah, I have actually, mate.
Go on, I'll
So
put it down.
I'm I'm quite, like, I can be quite clumsy and make a few mistakes when I'm on the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think some of that's down to us learning all the time. Especially when you hit a new lake or you're fishing a different method. Um, what mistake, if you make mistakes on a lake, what mistake would you go back and change that would make a difference in a fishing capture?
What mistake would you go back and change? Right. Okay. Right. I'll ask that to the next one. Oh, and one other thing before we wrap up. I'm getting everyone to draw a carp in 60 seconds, taking a little video of it, and then send it to me. So if you can do that, we're just going to do like a little fun draw at the end of it, the lockdown 3-week thing. Well, obviously, I know it's going to be longer than 3 weeks, but yeah, draw a carp in 60 seconds, video it, and then ping me the finished article, but no longer than 60 seconds is the only strict rule. Okay?
60 seconds, boom, bang on.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, mate?
Excellent. Okay, mate, I can give that a go.
Cool. All right, nice one. Right, Mike, we'll wrap up there. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Dom, mate. Thanks for having us, mate.
That's right, mate. Take care and look after yourself.
You as well, mate. Stay safe.